Well, good day, viewers, and welcome to Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And we'll have to try and see what we're going to get into today in the garage. It's kind of sunny out today. Not necessarily very warm, but at least it's sunny. No snow. Anyway, I think I'll turn you around here, I guess, and I'll show you what I think I might get at today, hopefully. Maybe, could be, possibly. So today's mission is going to be maybe get the snow thrower off of the case tractor here. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the weather here. It's kind of sunny out. And it's kind of maybe sort of reasonably reasonable temperature. Anyway, what have we got here for temperature today? Okay, well, we're at 7 degrees Celsius, so that's just kind of, it's better than -7, I guess. Come on, thing, what are you doing there? There we go. Hiding. And 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have a northwest wind at 15 miles an hour or 24 kilometers an hour. So today is supposed to be 8 degrees and sort of sunny. 11 tomorrow and rain. 7 and cloudy on Thursday. Sun and cloud and 11 on Friday. That's not a bad day. Might be another good day to maybe try and get the snow thrower off of that one. Maybe. Possibly could be. You never know. And then Saturday is rain and 12. Sunday 8 and rain. And Monday is 7. Mix of sun and cloud. Now a lot of them days from Wednesday on could change a bit, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll shut you off at that. We've got a whole lot of rambling already started into this video, so it's going to be long, I suppose, like they usually are. So I'll shut you off there, and we'll get back to you later, if I do anything. All right, I'll give you a quick overview as to how these come off. Well, first thing I guess you got to do is get the belt off. Belt is down in there. And you just kind of unroll that and it comes out pretty easy. Now I got to move the chute here, I guess. I had added this extension on this here. This rod used to come through down here where the bolt is, and you had to reach down here to get a hold of the chute turning thing, and it was kind of awkward. So up here made it a lot better. Alright, so yeah, the battery or the belt has to come out. Those two springs have to come off. That takes the tension off of it. And then you fish the belt off of there. And then I'll go over to this side, it'd be easier to see. Yeah, there's the belt there. You gotta fish the belt off. Then you gotta fish the belt up over the fan blades here. And over the top. And just bring it down like that. And everything just falls out the bottom. And it's a pretty good little system, that. It takes a little bit of fooling to get it around the fan to put it on and to get it off. But it's not bad at all. So I got to get that off. this will be all done this afternoon, because once I finish showing you what I got to do, I'm going in for dinner. Yeah. So, what else? So once you get that off, then we'll go around to this side again. Undo the cotter pin here and pull this out. And then undo the clip here and pull this off. Undo the clip here. Pull this out from there and over there. And that takes off this part. Then I remember you pull this pin out and turn it and lock it up into there so it stays in place. And you do the same thing on the other side. Right there. Pull that out. Turn it down so it stays out. And then you basically just pull the thrower out from the front of it. It hooks in also down in there, but it just pushes in. And I can show you here. So this opening, there's another one on the other side. So this just pushes over this pin here. So it doesn't latch there, all it does is kind of sit there. These here are the ones that latch it to the tractor. And that's basically it. Out she comes and off she goes. So hopefully we'll get that done after dinner. Now that I got it out in the way, it kind of gives me a motivation to do it, I guess, doesn't it? Then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. That's why I have the camera holding thing here. Today, the camera holding thing is going to be used as a cart. And I'm pretty sure I can get it in underneath there somehow, and I can get it up on the cart, and then that makes it a lot easier to roll around. So the idea, I guess, is to get it over and set it up on top of there. Now, whether this ground is hard enough for those little wheels on the cart to get it over there is the other question. All right, viewers, I'm back after having some dinner and a little extended dinner hour. I fell asleep at the table. Oh dear, isn't that bad? All right, we're going to continue on with getting the blower off of here, and I've already gotten the belt off, so I'll get back to you here in a little bit. And I'm going to be wearing my case hat whilst I work on the case tractor. Just hang on a minute. All right, we're going to get started at this here. I'll just kind of give you an idea as to how much that snow thrower weighs. And it weighs about 200 pounds, maybe a little more, maybe. Now, I don't have any specs on that, but I do have specifications on this one, on the John Deere. Basically, similar build. It's 2 inches narrower than the case model. It has a little bit heavier front hookup. The metal is thick there. And so I'm kind of evening it out. That one's a little wider. The chute is a little, oh, that one's a little narrower. The chute's narrower, but the frame hookup on the tractor is a little bit heavier. This is a little bit wider than the John Deere. The chute opening is bigger, but the framework to hook up is not quite as heavy. So I'm guessing it's about 200 pounds, maybe a little more. It's hard to say. So that's what's hanging off the front of these tractors. Now, we'll get out of here and we'll see how long it takes to drag that off of there. All right. Now remember, I already got the belt off, but that only took about a minute, if that. So, belt is off. Now, the hammer against. I guess I should have had the tool set up before I did anything. Yeah. Get a pressure somewhere on her. I guess if I had it running, I could have used the hydraulics to fix that. Now, we gotta get this little pin, this cotter pin out. Here you go. We got to get a new cotter pin for next year. You got the engine motor dirty, look at that. What? Here. Okay, there we go. Down here. I always try and put the pins back where I get them. I don't lose them. back on here. Put this back through there. No. There. So that goes over here somewhere to get stored. All right, now put that spring in there. Put this spring in here. We gotta put these. These gotta go somewhere where I don't lose them. One of them can go over here. I'll have to find a spot for you. All right, now. And that's it. Off she comes. So it's a little, not much more time to put it back on, but a little bit just so that you have to get, as you're pushing it in, you have to get this lifted up in order for it to go onto the pins. But once that's in, it's basically put your two pins in, put the hook up for the handle and the lift on, and that's it. So that's what it took. 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Add, the belt is right over there by the vise. Add a minute for the vise or less, so under 10 minutes easily to get the blower off. So that's not too bad. That's pretty good. That's good for now. A little something done today anyway. This tractor has three different duties. It's got snow throwing capability, it's got grass cutting capability, and it operates a hydraulic wood splitter off the back. And it can haul a cart around too with the ball there. All right, I'll get back to you after a bit. All right, so we got that all done. Now I'll take you outside and show you where I put it. It took longer to get it into place outside than it did to get it off the tractor. And we'll have a little look around at the tractor and the chat too, I guess, maybe. All right, I'll turn this around here. All right, so yeah, the thrower is off now, and so now I got to get under it and grease it. Grease the front wheels, grease the front kingpins, and grease the pivot and the axle, And there's a couple other grease nipples in underneath. And there's 2 grease nipples in the steering system at the bottom, underneath down by the shaft of this at the end, that are extremely difficult to get. And I haven't gotten them. I didn't get them last year, so I gotta get it up in the air somehow so I can get at them. So that's the next project, I guess. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, so it's going to be an indoor day. So that might happen tomorrow. And we have to change the oil on this one because this one runs a fair amount. I don't know. This does collect the hours, but I don't know if I can find that. It works with the key on. Oh, excuse me. Fahrenheit. Showing me Fahrenheit. That's the temperature of the hydraulic oil. Now that would be the RPMs if it was running. Oh, there we go. We get 59 hours. And I don't know when that was from. Anyway, it needs an oil change, and that's for sure. So I'll try and remember it. I don't know what, but yeah, I'll just do it yearly, I guess. But that thing is kind of difficult to use. That's why I never use it. I just kind of all of a sudden got it to work. Anyway, 59 hours, so I guess should really change it at 85 hours again. But we'll see. Probably we'll just do it the once a year, I would say. But now that I know how that works, and I've had this thing for 2 or 3 years, you'd think I'd know, but yeah, 59 hours. So. And then back to the temperature. All right, so that shuts off with the key, just like that. So that's where she's sitting at. That's where it stayed last year too. But I kind of think I might take it to my son's place and put it inside the building. You can kind of see the tracks here from the cart. He was sinking a bit. Not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna. Anyway, I wrestled that 200-pound thing up onto there. So that's where it's going to sit. I think that's it for this part of the goings on here today, is to get the snow thrower off. So that's a little step ahead today. We'll try and do a little more to this one tomorrow, hopefully. Grease it and change the oil maybe. Anyway, there we go. Let's cut her off at that, and have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing.